welcome to my 2023-24 CONCACAF Nations League predictions. Predizione della Liga de Nations de la CONCACAF 2023-24. We'll go quickly through Group C and League C and League B, but we'll really focus mostly on League A. So we'll start first with the promoted sides from League C. The group winners are as follows in my book: Saint Martin, Aruba, and Dominica from Group A, B, and C, of course. And then, of course, they have their best second place team, which would be the Cayman Islands, would be going up to League B for the next Nations League in my book. I think St. Martin, Aruba, Dominica, and Cayman Islands are all four good teams. They are the best teams in those groups. I think it's pretty clear cut that they are the ones that would go up. I think out of those, it was those nine teams. I think it's very similar. I think it's very easy. So there you go. First, then we'll go to League B. First off, we'll go with the relegated teams down to League C for 25-26 or 24-25 or whenever they do this again. Relegated to League C is Saint Martin, Montserrat, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and the Bahamas. They're four teams that are really questionable. Like, they are the weakest that are in the tournament, or in League B, I should say. It's a very sad thing to see, but those are the weakest teams in that league. And to me, Saint Martin, they're an okay side. They played Gold Cup prelims. They got knocked out. They played, yep. Montserrat, St. Vincent, and the Bahamas, they're just the more weaker sides in that league. It's a very top-heavy league, and there's a couple of teams per group that could win a group. There's a couple of shockers that I don't think you'll expect, though. Promoted sides from Group B, of course, your group winners of the groups: Guadeloupe, Dominican Republic, French Guiana, and Puerto Rico. Guadeloupe, of course, they had a great Gold Cup run this summer. I think they built on that. Dominican Republic, their youth players are starting to come up to the level. And I think Dominican Republic is in for a very good, I wouldn't say golden generation, but they're in for an upward trajectory. They move up for the next Nations League. They win their group, move up for the next Nations League. French Guiana, good team. They're a good team. They're a good side. They played during the play-in, the prelims. But I think in Group B, League B, or Group C, I should say, I think they should win that group. They look like the far and away favorite out of that group. Maybe the weakest group, but I think they look like the favorite. And then Puerto Rico. This one's a shocker, but I thought Puerto Rico was very interesting to watch during the Gold Cup prelims. I liked the way they played. They played some good football. They frankly should have went through. I think they could get up from League B into League A. I really do. So, that is the appetizer. Now let's get into League A, Group A. We'll start with Group A, of course. Panama, Guatemala, El Salvador, Martinique, Curacao, and Trinidad and Tobago. In sixth place with 1 point, I think Trinidad and Tobago get sixth place. You could say, Ryan, you did this last time during the Gold Cup. You underrated Trinidad. This time, they got a horrible draw. Of the four games they're playing some good teams. They're playing teams that they're not equal to or better than. They're playing the big boys. They get a point from a draw against Curacao. They play Curacao again and lose. Then they play the big boys for the other two games. To me, that's about... It's a tough group. And I think Trinidad just had a bad draw. Curacao in fifth with 4 points. They win one of their games. They draw against Trinidad. They do not win their games that aren't against Trinidad. They are fifth. Fourth place, Martinique in 4 points. They have some good performances, but it's just not enough to get to that top two. El Salvador with 7 points. They get pipped. They get pipped by Guatemala over goal differential and head-to-head. Either way, but I think goal differential. But either way, Guatemala scored more goals. El Salvador just is more defensive. Even though they win games, they're more defensive. It gets them screwed over. Second place, Guatemala, and 7 points. They score more goals. They're going to win the same amount of games, pick up the same amount of points, 2 wins, 1 draw, as El Salvador does. I think, I had Guatemala beating El Salvador in the group. Guatemala's got a good promotion or a good feeling now under Tena. They played well the Gold Cup. They should have, I wouldn't say they should have beat Jamaica, but they were close. Guatemala gets out of the group, 7 points. Panama in first with 10 points, 3 wins, 1 draw. Helps Guatemala get through, I think, that 1 point drop. Or that 1 point picked up, I should say, instead of the 2 points dropped. But Panama's the best team that isn't one of the big 4 right now. And you could arguably say they're better than Costa Rica. And Jamaica, I'm not completely sure. Against the big boys, Jamaica, well, that Mexico game didn't really give me the best of looks. Panama, they look like they're a bit more flexible. As in, they're a bit more, they could get it done against the big boys, you know? Jamaica, not so sure. The actual big boys. But Panama wins Group A. Guatemala goes through second place. El Salvador, Martinique, Curacao. El Salvador, Martinique stay up in League A for the next Nations League. Curacao and Trinidad drop, because it's 2 each that drop, by the way. Group B, 0 points, Cuba. They're not getting any points. They're not. Raico Rosarena might stand on his head. They're still not getting any points. Grenada with 1 point. Grenada with 1 point. They're a good team. They've got some good players, but when you're playing teams like Haiti, Honduras, Suriname, and Jamaica, you're behind the 8 ball. You just are. Haiti with 4 points. I think Haiti's going to put up a good fight, just like they did at the Gold Cup. But I think Honduras, Suriname, and Jamaica are just better. I just think they are. And they're playing in those countries. I think it's going to go the way of the countries that they go to. It's going to be harder. Honduras with 9 points in third. They just miss out. 3 wins, 1 loss. They just miss out. I think Suriname and Jamaica are just a nose better than Honduras. Or, well, I guess 1 game is a nose in this case. But Suriname picks up a draw instead of that 1 loss. 3 wins, 1 draw. Suriname in second with 10 points. I think Suriname is going to get the results they need. They're going to get some shine back from the prelims and find a way to get out of the group. Jamaica with 12 points. They go 4-0. They're the best team playing in the group stage. They're the number 1 seed out of the 4 qualifiers, which is the 5th seed pretty much. But I didn't make the rules. They did. Jamaica wins all 4 of their games. I think they're the better team in all 4 matches. They are the favorite in all 4 matches they're going to play. I don't see why they wouldn't get 12 points. Jamaica finishes first, which means our quarterfinals are Costa Rica versus Jamaica, the 4th seed in the CONCACAF rankings. Jamaica, of course, the best group winner. Canada, Panama. Canada right now is the 3rd seed of the 4 byes in the CONCACAF rankings. I don't think Costa Rica is going to jump them, thank God. Who knows, though? But we need to make, hopefully that Japan game probably needs to go our way, just in case. But if it doesn't, well, it's by October, right? So whatever, it depends on if it comes out after or before, hopefully before. Mexico, Guatemala, and USA, Suriname. Of course, USA is the 2nd best team in the CONCACAF rankings. Suriname, of course, the best runner-up. And then Guatemala, the worst runner-up, the 8th seed, plays Mexico, the 1st seed. Costa Rica versus Jamaica. This is going to be a shock. I think Costa Rica is limping right now. The fact they're 4th place is absolutely shocking in the rankings. Going into, of course, the draw. Then Panama jumped them because of the Gold Cup, but that was after the draw was made for this tournament. So Costa Rica gets in after having a crappy Gold Cup, a crappy Nations League, They're starting to fall apart. They're getting old. I just don't see it. I think Jamaica's too good right now to lose to Costa Rica. Jamaica is better right now than Costa Rica. Jamaica will beat them over 2 legs. I'm sure of it. Jamaica goes on to Copa America. They don't have to worry about the play-in, which we'll talk about that in a second. Canada, Panama. You're going to call me crazy for this one. But you know what? I think Canada will do just enough in Panama to keep it close going to BMO. Canada's going to get it done at BMO. They have a point to prove. They want to get to Copa America. They're going to be up for it. I believe they will be, even if Bielo's a crap manager. Maybe they've replaced him by then. I don't know. This could change after I see them play Japan, but I don't think Panama's better than Japan. Panama's good. They could beat Canada. I'm not saying it's impossible. No, Jamaica's more likely to beat Canada. I'd rather be 3rd place and play Panama. But if it was Jamaica, I think Canada would lose a 2-legged tie. Hell, the women doing the Olympic qualifier, sort of the same way. I feel like that's going to happen too. I feel like Canada would lose to both. The women would lose to the reggae girls, and the men would lose to the reggae boys if they were to play each other in a 2-legged tie. Same situation at this point. Panama, no, though. I think Canada's going to be really up for it. I think that's going to close the gap a little bit. Canada still, on paper, has more talent than Panama. They could be out-tacticked this time because Bielo's a dolt. He is an idiot. But you know what? I believe, personally, that Canada can do what they need to do to win. And they beat Panama. They move through. They go to Copa America. They don't have to worry about the play-in. And, of course, they'll play the CONCACAF Nations League semifinals next March. Mexico, Guatemala. The Lambert Jimmy rolls. Mexico beats Guatemala. Guatemala's going to put up a fight, but I can't say anything more than that. Mexico wins over 2 legs. If it was a one-off, maybe, but I don't know. Then, USA, Suriname. Oh, my bad, I jumped. But, again, USA, Suriname. That's probably the most lopsided matchup of all 4, to be honest. Guatemala could spring an upset over 2 legs on Mexico. I don't think it'll happen. I think there's a possibility. USA, Suriname, with the players that they have on paper, they don't have to call in their best 11. They call in their best 11 to get this done. I don't care what you think about Greg Berhalter. The USA is going to do the job over Suriname. It may be a tight first leg, then the second leg's just outright blitzkrieg. USA goes through. So we have Jamaica, Canada, USA, and Mexico qualifying for Copa America and the Nations League semifinals in March. The play-ins are as follows, I think. Costa Rica versus Panama, a CONCACAF Classico, a Central American Classico to put one of the 2 other spots, the repechaje spots, into a hand, a ticket into the hand. I think Panama gets it done. I think Costa Rica are getting too old. Panama has had Costa Rica's number over the past year. I think Panama gets it done with Christensen. I don't see why Costa Rica would. Panama goes through to Copa America. Then Suriname versus Guatemala. 2 new kids on the block fighting to go to Copa America. I think it's Guatemala. I think Guatemala has the better manager. I think Guatemala has the better players. I think they have the better defense. I think they have the better goal scoring. I think they have the better experience because Suriname couldn't even play the Gold Cup because they got knocked out in the prelims. That's going to hurt them in a tie like this. Guatemala wins. They probably get it done at Doroteu, but they get it done. Guatemala to the Copa America. They take that second repechaje spot. They're in Copa America next summer. CONCACAF Nations League semifinals. I'm going to guess first seed versus the lowest seed through, and then second versus third, I'm guessing. Mexico versus Jamaica. Mexico. 1-legged tie. Did you not see what happened back at the Gold Cup? I don't think anything different will happen. And it'll be a better team. It'll be an actually Jimmy Lozano team a year later, pretty much. And they'll have Quiñones, probably. By March, probably. Mexico. Mexico wins over Jamaica. USA versus Canada. I don't know if we're going to have a new manager by then. We better. I don't know who, if they're going to be a good manager. They're going to shock me. Either way, USA is going to bring their best 11. Canada has a lot of situations. I think that's where their road ends. Canada gets beat by the USA in the semifinal. They put up a fight, but probably better in the final. I think they'll have a better performance than the Nations League final a couple of months ago. Doesn't matter, they lose. Third place game, Jamaica versus Canada. Depending on how it goes, I may change my tune. Right now, Jamaica. Right now, Jamaica beats Canada. Hallgrimsson will out-tactic BLO or whoever the hell they hire at that point to have a full-time manager. It may be BLO for the Copa America because, of course, you want to give them a couple of games because Canada ain't going to get no friendlies in June. So, be smart to have them by then. Jamaica wins. Final, USA versus Mexico, of course, and the USA goes 3-4-3, 3-peat. I think the USA is going to beat Mexico. It'll be closer. It won't be a total mollywhopping. It's not going to be like 2021 where it's a total clown show and it's like 3-2 and there's a last-second penalty, but it ain't going to be 3-0 either. It's going to be a well-fought match. I think Jimmy Lozano will out-tactic Berhalter, but the USA's talent will shine through. Balogun, Pulisic, after a good season with AC Milan, I'm hoping. I think the USA gets it done 3-1, 3-2. You know what? Yeah, 3-2 in the Nations League final. They win their third straight CONCACAF Nations League. Mexico still can't win that trophy. And Canada at least have a bronze medal. I guess that's something, right? So, with that being said, there's my predictions for the 2023-24 CONCACAF Nations League. Going to Copa America next summer. I got Jamaica, Canada, USA, Mexico, Panama, and Guatemala. That should be fun. And then I got the USA winning the Nations League proper. Mexico runners-up, Canada third, Jamaica. Or not Canada third. What was I saying? My bad, Jamaica winning a bronze medal. My bad. I misspoke. Hey, my heart took over for a second there, but Jamaica wins the bronze medal. My bad. Canada finishes fourth. But at least they're in Copa America and they didn't have to worry about the playoff. You know? So, there you go. With that being said, if you like this video, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribed. Send super chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put us to playlist. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I shall see you tomorrow for a live watch along of both Panama versus Martinique and El Salvador versus Guatemala. Yeah. Live for both. Review for El Salvador, Guatemala, I think. So I'll see you then tomorrow. I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace. See you later. May the odds be ever in your favor. Peace.